Okay, so welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Yes, as you've seen there, we've got Mr. Kunle Edun, who will be joining us on this segment of the program. But before he comes on, the EFCC held this capacity building workshop, a two-day one, where it was with Judicial Institute, and the chairman did speak about some challenges, some of the things he thinks that we should pay attention to if we really want to move the needle. Have a listen to just a very short piece.
The incidents of suspects facing criminal investigations rushing to court to obtain orders of injunction, restraining the Commission from inviting, investigating, interrogating, and arresting them, including some state governments, has become rampant and worrisome. At the last count, the Commission is unable to conduct investigation in at least 10 states of the Federation.
Wow, 10 states. They can't do any investigation as of yet. Mr. Edun, good morning and thank you for joining us. By the way, congratulations. You're now a senior advocate of Nigeria. It's been a long time coming. Must have been a huge sigh of relief for you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Good morning, Nigerians.
Okay, so let's start with this particular one before we get into another matter, which you also probably kickstarted that one. But for this one that the EFCC has raised concerns about, they can't do any investigation in 10 states. So one wonders, is it that the judiciary may be missing something here? Because, I mean, we all know that if we need to stamp out corruption in the country, agencies such as the EFCC have got to do a job. So how do you think the judiciary, do you think that they even see this in the same light? Because many wonder, how is it that their hands are tied, they can't do anything in 10 states?
Shepard, thank you very much. Let me start by commending my noble lord, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, my lord Kudirat Kekere Ekun, for the statement that my lord made at the event yesterday, where my lord stated that the judiciary is ready to partner with EFCC and other crime-busting agencies with regards to stamping out corruption. That was very, very comforting and welcoming. And that goes to tell that the judiciary has actually, in my own personal view, has actually not done much with regards to stamping out corruption, because I know as a matter of fact that many of the cases that are actually filed in court, you see cases that have been in court for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, they will go on appeal. Before you know what, when they come back after 6, 7 years, the witnesses are either they have disappeared or no longer interested. They are looking for the witnesses. We cannot fight corruption that way. And the judiciary happens to be a very, very critical stakeholder in fighting corruption. The hydra-headed problem of corruption is actually affecting every segment of the society, even including the judiciary itself. And we need all hands to be on deck to get this thing resolved. And we may not be able to start it out completely, but at least substantially we should be able to do that. And the statement made by my lord is very, very welcoming, and I believe that it has set the tone for what we are going to see in the next few months, few years, with regards to how the judiciary is going to tackle issues of corruption. And, you know, it's quite painful. It's quite really painful because I know as a matter of fact that many of the cases filed by EFCC are cases that ordinarily, you know, when you look at counts, because EFCC also has a share to blame here too. 60 counts, 70 counts, over what? Over what? Why not just file the number of counts that you think you can actually prosecute very well? So that is also a problem itself. And EFCC itself also needs to get competent hands, competent lawyers, because I also handle cases against filed by EFCC against some of my clients. And I can tell you that the level of prosecution is not really top notch. You know, when we are talking about a crime-busting agency like EFCC, we should have the best hands in terms of prosecution. And I know of a few of the hands that are very, very good, and they have them, but some of them, they need to either go for proper training or retraining with regards to, you know, their appreciation, particularly with regards to legal procedures and even the provisions of the SCJA. I know, can I tell you something for free? Even the SCJA, has actually made provision for day-to-day trial with respect to criminal cases and corruption cases. But we don't see that happening. We don't see that happening.
Okay, so
that,
if I could just jump in, my apologies on that one. Is there anything that either the NBA can do? I know there's legal aid counsel, because chances are that the commission will say, look, we're an anti-corruption agency. We may not have huge purse, so we're only limited within our resources. So they will need external help from agencies and different groups who've got the interest of the country at heart to probably partner with them, maybe in the light of what you've spoken about, training and retraining, to ensure that whatever it is that they can afford, perhaps will also be up to scratch.
That was where I was actually going.
Okay, great.
I can actually tell you here that the NBA presently is partnering with INEC with regards to prosecution of election offenders. So I actually have 3 cases found out to me by INEC, which I was directed to prosecute. And I know as a fact also that the NBA president, under the leadership of Alpha Musigwe, the NBA is ready to do that. But the question is that is EFCC ready to partner with the NBA? The NBA, so, because we have about 100 to almost 130 branches all over Nigeria. So we are well covered throughout the federation. And the NBA, in each of these 130 branches, we have human rights committees. We can actually set up special committees for this purpose. So the NBA is willing and ready to do that. I don't think NBA will run away from that, because the motto of the NBA is promoting the rule of law. And when we talk about promoting the rule of law, it also entails stamping out corruption. So we are a willing partner for EFCC to engage. But the question now is that would EFCC engage us? So that is a different thing. So
why do you think they will not engage you?
I wouldn't know. So because you know why I'm saying so? Because I recall that during the leadership of the immediate past president of the NBA, YC SCN, there was a seminar sort of that was held between the NBA and security agencies. Even I think some military chiefs were there too. DSC was there, ICPC was there. I think FRSC was there. You understand? We talk about this partnership, but I don't think anything has actually happened since then. I don't think anything has actually happened. So we are still ready to partner with them. Like I was saying, please let me go back to the issue of trial of criminal, particularly corruption cases, as provided by the ACJA. That's the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. Most of the states, they have domesticated it, so they have their own ACJ help. But the provisions there that are mutatis mutandis are that trial in respect of to criminal cases should be conducted day to day. It may not be possible that we do day to day, but at least if adjournments are being sought, we should not, like what we are having now, 1 month, 2 months, 3. It's not necessary, because like in the conduct of election petitions, why can't we extend them to criminal cases, particularly corruption cases? Because our major problem now in this country is corruption, and that is why we have every Tom, Dick, and Harry wants to go to government house, want to occupy government house. They are fighting everywhere for political offices because of the largesse that is there. So if we can send this message out that okay, within 1 year max, criminal cases, particularly in relation to corruption cases, financial crime cases, will be concluded. I bet you this message will stay. And you see the level of corruption will come down. And by the way, another major problem with regards to corruption cases is the issue of the fiat, the manner with which some of the states AG and I think the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, the way they enter fiat, to be frank with you, I am not comfortable with it. The Constitution actually gives the power of nolli prosecute. Sorry, I'm talking about nolli prosecute. If you give power of nolli prosecute to the AG, that is to withdraw case or withdraw criminal cases at any time without necessarily giving any reason. But the Constitution also provides that the discontinuance of such cases must be for good purpose, for the benefit, for the advancement of the law, for the good purpose, the benefit of the society. But how can you enter a nolli prosecute, withdraw a case where you know that the governor, he has stolen billions of naira, and before you know what nolli prosecute is entered? How can you do that? So to what benefit does that accrue to? What benefit accrues to the society? Nothing.
The question is, who checks that?
we know that that is something that's been given to the Attorney General of the state, but it doesn't appear that there's any other power to checkmate that particular power given to the Attorney General, because I guess the assumption was that, you know, the Attorney General will be a man of integrity.
I agree with you.
Yeah, so
yes,
do you think that should we have amendments to, you know, in place to check that, to make sure that indeed another body determines that this is indeed in public interest and this is for the public good?
Very well, I agree with you. Probably we need a constitutional amendment to that effect. But before then, there have been instances where the court actually, in the interpretation of constitutional provisions, they interpret it in a way that, in a purposive approach, they give it a purposive approach, that is in a way that will benefit the larger interests of the society. The court can also interpret such provisions, by way of curtailing the abusive powers of the Attorney General, of the state and of the federation, by interpreting it to be, before such an action can be withdrawn, the purpose must be for the benefit of the society. Because now, the way it is now, they can just enter a nulli without giving any reason. And that has always been the interpretation given by the appellate courts, which personally I do not agree with. And we have instances where the courts actually, in their, like the Naira redesign case, the doctrine of necessity. So there have instances where the courts will intervene. Like even in the recent financial autonomy for local government case, the courts can actually intervene for the betterment of the society and say, no, these powers that have been assigned by this particular office have been abused. You understand? So we need to curtail these wide discretionary powers. So I expect the court to be purposive in their interpretation of provisions that will actually affect the larger interest of the society. So
how do we, you know, how did we ever get to the stage whereby courts grant orders, you know, telling prosecutory agencies that they cannot invite, they cannot investigate, and these things stand, and you know, it has formed such a precedent that as we currently speak, the EFCC says they are unable to conduct their investigations in 10 states. At this rate, it does appear that all 36 states will soon be involved, from what we can see. How did we get here, and how come is it that the EFCC is unable to vacate these orders, you know, as soon as possible?
Thank you very much. That is a very good question that many Nigerians are actually asking. Even some of the members of NBA, we are also asking, because we know that the position of the law is that the court cannot stop an agency from performing its constitutional and or statutory functions. No court can stop that, because by stopping that, the court is also encouraging an infringement of the provisions enabling the agency to function as provided by the law. You recall that I think it's been almost 15, 20 years now, if I can recall, the case of a former, let me not mention names, a former governor of a River State, where we were made to understand that EFCC filed an action against the governor with regards to public funds that we alleged to have been embezzled. And before we knew what was happening, there was an injunction that started flying everywhere with regards to that particular case. I'm afraid, because I'm not aware that injunction, after 15, 20 years, has actually been set aside. So that case is like steel belts for more than 15, 20 years. The question is that EFCC, okay, should you have cases like this? Why not just activate your appeals, because your appeal section, you understand, in the EFCC? Let them be very proactive. And I can tell you for free that the Court of Appeal that I know, you understand, they are ready, you know, to close out appeals for EFCC within probably 6 months, 1 year. It actually comes back to the council. It comes back to the prosecuting council, the parties involved. You understand?
Yeah, but Mr. Edo, the other thing about that is,
if they fight their respective briefs,
just as you said, the public don't expect this kinds of. I mean, it should be common knowledge that you should not stop any anti-corruption agency from performing their constitutional role if we need to move forward in this country, because they give the impression that money talks and BS works. So, but there's this other matter that you know, is of public interest, if I can say that, because I know that you were also involved in one some time ago. I think they had, I don't know if they stopped you or via FRC or something like that, and then you went to court and got a judgment. Then there's a recent one, which a court in Abuja also did ask the DRTS, the VIO, you can't be a judge in your own matter. But we saw a headline some days ago that was saying that they were going to lose, I can't remember how much, millions as a result of that judgment. And so it appeared as though, well, should they appeal this matter? Should the thing be set aside? Give us your impression of what that actually means and how things will shape up moving forward as a result of this latest judgment.
Hello, I didn't get your last statement, please.
Just your impression about how things are expected to shape up.
Very well. Oh, very well. I think immediately that judgment was delivered by my lord of the Federal High Court, Odin at Abuja. My learned brother's sake, my boy in the human rights community, Femi Falano, sent the information to me via WhatsApp. I said, Egbon, thank God, this has happened again, because we need to send this message out, not only to VIO, but to FRSC, to NDLEA, to the customs, because it seems they have converted public roads to generate their revenue-generating spots, where they can make monies. They're not really particular. With due respect to them, they're not, because we see them, members of the public see they almost speak truth to power at all times. That's the only way this country can move forward. The VIO that I know, they're not really particular about whether your vehicle is in good state or not. You understand? What they're mostly particular about is, how much they make from the whole process, disturbing the motoring public. And to that extent, I had to go to court when they made a very huge error in stopping me. For crying out loud, I'm a lawyer, I know my rights. So I had to tell them, and good enough, the High Court in Delta State agreed with me. Unfortunately, like we have in many of the states, instead of applauding such patriotic action by citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the state government appealed the judgment to the Court of Appeal, Odin at Asaba. And I also followed up, because I know that if I didn't follow it up, and members of the public will continue to oppress them, and that's what I don't like saying. So good enough, the Court of Appeal came very, very heavy, even heavier than the High Court. And so now, to the fact that VIOs, they are not even supposed to be on the public road doing their job.
Wow.
That is not their office. Their office should be wherever their office will be. You inspect your vehicles there. By the way, you and I know shamefully that they don't even inspect vehicles. They give you the roadworthiness certificate. They don't even see the vehicles. All Nigerians will agree with me on this. They don't even see the vehicle. Just go there, pay money, good. That is why you see there are a lot of rickety vehicles on the road. And VI will just allow them pass, probably after giving them tips here and there. Look, we can't move forward like that.
Well, Mr. Kuledu, while that is a very valid statement to make to a large extent, but I think the experience in Lagos is a little different, because because if you do not take your vehicle to what they call the VIO office, and they have centers, all across the state, yes, to check the vehicle, without which you will not get whatever they call it, the MOT certificate. Of course, there are issues around that one as well. But the question that goes out from that is whether or not Nigerians know. Maybe let me rephrase that. Whether or not the vehicle inspection officials themselves are aware of this. I think it was last week Markwell was bringing to our notice a statement that someone put on X that, look, this fight we have fought it before. So let us all print it and put it in our cars, so that whenever they stop you, you bring it out for them and see, this is now the law. So what do you think informs them going on the streets in various parts of the country if, as you said, they are not supposed to show their faces on the roads?
My dear brother, can I tell you the truth? Let's always speak truth. It will help us a lot. I think majorly it is actuated by commercial motive. That is just it. That is just because I have seen situations where, they allow rickety vehicles to pass after collecting their normal stuff. You understand? For crying out loud, the judgment of the Federal High Court, I understand that reference was made to my case, the judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal, which is actually reported in almost all the law reports in Nigeria. The VIOs are fully aware, even in Delta State, they are fully aware. And I know that. In fact, one of my colleagues from one of the northern states had a similar situation, and he actually confirmed that they are aware. So they cannot play ignorance. They cannot. But the motive to go there and collect money, is very compelling to them. Very compelling to them. And the issue is that this money that they won't collect on the road. Did they? I mean, the money is actually paid into official accounts. That is another question. So what Nigerians need to know at this moment. I'm not saying that VIOs should not do their work. I'm not saying that FRSC should not do their work. But what I'm saying now is that there is a court order. There's a court judgment, now reaffirmed by the recent judgment of the Federal High Court, done by my very good colleague from the office of Femi Falana, that VIOs have no business be on the road. VIOs have no business collecting whatever it is called, monies for issuance of roadworthiness certificate from private vehicles. VIOs have no business setting up a roadblock or whatever. They have no business being there. Let them go to their office, and that was my judgment at the trial court. The judge said, let them go to their office during the renewal of a vehicle paper. That is when they are supposed to be doing their job. Like my very good friend said, with regards to Lagos State, that is where they are not. In fact, they're also doing with sin on the road. However, there's a caveat, sir. However, they can actually park by the side of the road, like it is done in every civilized country. FRS park by the side of the road. FRS is even worse. They will stay in the middle of the road. I say, Oga, Federal Road Safety. What you have just done, is it a safe act? Standing right in the middle of a busy road. What about if somebody just comes and knocks you down? You are gone. You are gone. They say, the lawyer pass. I say, okay, I've said my own. They have no business being on the road. Now, do you know what they do? They will just flag a vehicle down, park. Let's see your papers. Oga, are you stopping me because you want to check my papers? Because I need to know, why are you stopping me? Is it that my vehicle, on the face of it, doesn't look motorable or roadworthy or is rickety? Which is not that. That's not the case. No, well, let's see your papers. Oh, you stopped me to just see my papers. Nigerians need to know this moment that is a violation of their right to freedom of movement. Before you stop a person on the road who is driving on the road, you must have a prima facie evidence that either that vehicle has been involved in the commission of an act or any offense anywhere, or on the face of the vehicle ought not to even be on the road at all.
Yeah, but Mr. June, if in that case, shouldn't it be the job of the police and not the FRSC, VIO, or even the DRTS?
I agree with you, sir. The police, the FRSC, Federal Road Safety, and the VIOs, they can actually do this job.
Together?
You understand?
Okay.
Making our roads safe. But you and I know that they are not making our roads safe. Rather, they are helping themselves. We now have a problem. Now, let's even put FRSC aside. It's not the FRSC that we used to know when my Oga, Wole Soyinka, was, he started it all. FRSC is not the FRSC. And that's why probably I use opportunity to us that it's high time that FRSC and the police probably they are merged, so that we create a sort of highway patrol, because I do not see the relevance of the continued relevance of FRSC being a standalone agency, because what the police are doing on the road, they're actually doing the same thing. You can do a first pop on this. They are doing the same thing. Yeah. So for crying out loud, we need to sanitize the system. We are not helping ourselves. Nigerians are going through a lot, and they don't want to a situation where they are going to work, they are going to other places, and they are not being confronted by these money mongers, all in the name of VIOs, all in the name of FRSC, all in the name of customs. No, let our road be safe.
Yes, we have to thank you very much indeed, yourself and all the other lawyers who fought this on behalf of the Nigerian public. Thank you for coming on, Wole Odun, senior.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
The senior advocate of Nigeria. All right, let's move on. We have some messages actually. Is there anyone on this VIO matter? I'd love to see it.
No, I think all of them
dear.
are around rivers. And interesting tweet from Jesus for the Street, I think it's Joamidi. He says it's time His Excellency Fubara and Honorable Minister Wiki of the FCT started thinking about and putting humanity above everything else. Karma is real. They're both guilty in this matter. Wiki brought Fubara is in battle with Wiki over state structure and other unknown reasons. Rivers State and her people are experiencing unrest and interference in governance because of the feud between Wiki and Fubara. Both of them and their egos are everywhere in all of this. Humans choose to remain in the age of war because they know no different than to fight or kill. Well, he says he's expecting more of this from former Governor Wike. He is with President Tinubu now. He has to be better. He has to visit the scenario. All parties were Democrats from the beginning to the end. Now, talking about the situation of Elders of Lagos versus Ambode. All parties were Democrats from beginning to the end for 4 years. Clean, minimal damages, peace and order, karma, continuity and prosperity. Wike must take ownership of his own responsibility humbly in all of this and allow Fubara rule the best way he can for 4 years only, if I were Wike.
Well, there's this one also from Prof. Imonoka Enachena says, supporters on both sides of this political divide must endeavor to make altruistic and rational statements that can quell this palpable fear, cause irrational anger or deductions that's capable of manipulating the public into unconventional and inordinate anger by contrast, as it is, or arriving at decisions that can plunge the state into total chaos and unreceptive upheaval.
Yeah, cognitive knowledge ambition. All right, thank you very much indeed, all of you, for your messages. We appreciate all of them. We'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain, so don't forget, have yourselves a very, very good day today.
Freedom. They say eternal vigilance is the price of freedom.
Freedom from VIFRC.
Any type of freedom. You have to keep watch. I think that's to all of us and the people of River State. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mark Welby.
And I'm Ayo Makine. You have a safe day.